Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today's Saturday is December the 10th. Welcome to Saturday. Welcome to the weekend. Hope you got something fun planned. It's getting closer to the holidays now. Lots of things going on, I'm sure, in your cities and towns. But hope you found a way to get some pleasure for yourself and just make the best of this wonderful season. But Saturday is a great day for me. I always do my little jaunt down to the recycling shop to donate something from my wardrobe and maybe pick up a little treat or something neat. I've actually found some really cool brooches there the last few trips, so that's on my list for today. But I hope you've got something fun planned as well. The small pleasures that bring our life together. And I wanted to talk about something today that I really started to reflect on my birthday this year, and see whether perhaps it's something that would be of value for you to consider too. I have a very favorite quote that I use all the time, and it's something that really means a lot to me, and that is by a poet called T.S. Eliot. And T.S. Eliot said, "We shall not cease from exploration, and at the end of our exploring, we find ourselves back where we started, but know the place for the first time." Such an amazing quote. It's so relevant to me because I do believe that a person is happy when they can see how the end of their life links back somehow to the beginning, that there's somehow a continuity, there's been a progression and some kind of sense of meaning. And I think that what I wanted to share with you today was this idea of doing a life review or doing a guided autobiography as a way of connecting those two dots. I was reading a book on the train, actually, on my recent trip to the UK by Jane Fonda. It's a book called Prime Time, and in it she talks about her journey with a life review and how much it helped her. And I think that all of us have complicated lives where some things are very clear how they connect, and then other things are just more cloudy. And so taking the effort to actually do a proper review of your life can sort things out. And I think it can also improve the relationships that you've got with people who played those roles in earlier times in your life. Now, it's really a focus on the meaning of something that happened rather than the fact that it happened. And also how sometimes things that happened in your childhood that you've carried with you all your life, with feelings of guilt or feelings of sadness or confusion, that sometimes by going back and looking at the situation as it was, doing a review of all that, the dynamic of that time, you'll somehow get a better understanding. So for example, just in my own personal case, is that when I was a little girl, we traveled a lot. We moved from town to town a lot. My dad moved us almost every year, and I'd have to start new school, and I developed a lot of great skills through that, but it was always unsettling to move every single year. And, I carried that with me. And I think, to be honest with you, I think I've kind of embraced it because I love travel now, and it's helped me to be strong. But when I look back at and doing a life review, what happened in those first 15, 18 years of my life was that we had the complexity of my parents' life. They had lived through the war, the Second World War. My dad had fought in the war as a teenager. He went in at 18, came out at 24. And when I think about what he gave up during that time and how that impacted the relationship with my mother and us children, I can understand it better. By taking the time to go back and do a review of how their lives were shaping, shows how it impacted mine. So that sometimes these things are not your fault. They're not things that you had any control over as a child. But it's important to, I think, go back and do this kind of guided autobiography, guide yourself through it. So, I can say that, for example, easy way to do it is what I did. In the first 10 years of my life, I did this. And on my birthday this year, I reviewed it. Maybe that's something that you would like to do. Go through exactly everything that you did that you can remember in the first 10 and then 20 and 30 years of your life. And if you think about your life in totality as having 3 acts, we're kind of in the 3rd act. And that's where things are supposed to all come together. So all those things that you can remember in your first 10, 30, 40, 50 years should be coming to some kind of a balance in your 60s. And I think that in my experience, by going through that step by step, I really did start to see the connections, how things came to be the way they did, and how that impacted me, how I moved through it, how I grew through it. So I think that doing a life review at that level of detail is really, really valuable. And it gives you this opportunity in your third act to really assimilate all the lessons and to interpret all the meaning and the wisdom that you gained. Now, the next step, though, because reviewing memories is just one part of this, and that's, in a way, it's easy. You can sit down and remember when you moved, or when when a sibling was born, or you can remember the facts. But what's really important with a life review is going deeper, going to the next level. And this is sometimes where you need a little help. And there are people that, it's part of a social work and psychology profession. They do these life reviews, especially with people as they reach the end of their life. It's helpful to kind of pull everything together. But it's also much more valuable if you can now use that in the 30, 40 years you've got left of your life, and just to learn from it and evolve. So what you can do with a life review, if you take the time, for example, to journal and write this all down, it's super helpful to do that. You can start going to the subthemes, the deeper themes. So instead of just memories, you can talk about or think about, what was my relationship to family overall? How did I feel as part of my family? What were the dynamics? What were the branching events? Now, the branching events are really fascinating to me, because they're the things where you had a choice. Where were the times in your life where you had a choice, go this way or that way, and you chose a certain way? Why did you choose that? What were the motivations? What would it have been like if you'd chosen the other? I think a lot of us could probably look at this in terms of relationships. Especially the women who were married right out of high school. Maybe that was a branching decision. There are other branching points, but it's basically where you had to make a decision and choose one over the other. And those are really interesting from a life review perspective, to go through your branching decisions and why you made them, and how things unfolded. Another thing is your relationship to your body image. How have you viewed your body throughout your life? And I think a lot of women are going to be nodding their head here, because there's a lot of social pressures that may have influenced our individual body image. It may still be very much a part of our lives, but this is, of course, the time now that we can accept that and place it in its box and then move on. And I think that's what's really cool about doing a life review. The other thing to think about is relationships in general. What kind of relationships have you chosen in your life? When you go through your life review, you can see how those they formed, and how you made a change in your life, or you accommodated others based on your relationships. Did you have confidence? Were you lacking in confidence? Did you get taken advantage of? Did you take advantage of? There's all kinds of things in doing this review that come out. Grab them and hold them, and look at them and understand them. That's the secret, I think, to any kind of life review, is to not throw away the bad, but to accept it, embrace it, and then just move forward. So I think that's where I wanted to take you on this journey, to see perhaps doing a life review as being something transformational, and to give you an opportunity to really go forward and create a wonderful third act. I think it's a fantastic opportunity that we have. So, hope you found that was interesting and useful. I'll leave a couple of links so that you can go back and think of some ways to actually document this life review. And also check online if you want to look at guided autobiography or life review. See how the kinds of questions that they might ask you, a professional might ask you in a life review. I've actually got a list here of, I think it's about 40 questions that are designed to prompt you, things that just simply ask you about, your life, how it went, what happened. So it's a very interesting topic, and I hope that you find it enlightening and something fun to do this weekend, perhaps. Give yourself a treat. Take a trip down memory lane and find the meaning of those memories, not just the memory. So I hope you have a wonderful day, everybody. Have a great Saturday. And I'd like to ask you a quick question, and let's see, get a conversation going here. And that is just simply, have you ever done a life review? And if you have, what did it teach you? I think it'd be really interesting to start a conversation on that topic. Have you ever done a life review or done a guided autobiography? And what did you learn? Well, have a fabulous weekend, everybody, and I will see you all back here tomorrow on Mornings with 60 and Me. Take care. Bye-bye for now.